Hello, welcome to the Palooka Watch channel. This is Mike. This is my Seiko Samurai Prospex professional diver. I did a review on this when I first got it. It was like a unboxing kind of first impressions. I've had it for over 3 months now. I wear it a lot. I was wearing it a lot on a different band, which I'm going to get to, because today this video is really about the Islander stainless steel band that I purchased for this. Just to remind you, this is on a 7.5-inch wrist. Just decided to insert that for you, and to remind you on the size of this, it is a 44.7 millimeter case without the crown. So you kind of get the, always remember the aspect ratio on this camera. It makes the watch appear a little bit larger on the wrist, but you can see when I lay it here, there's plenty of wrist beyond the end links on both sides. I prefer a larger watch on my wrist. This band is really something. Now we're going to get to the band, the cost, and the details of the band. I just want to remind you guys that this watch came on this band, which you can see doesn't present super well, and that's part of the reason why I was able to pick this watch up so inexpensively. I picked this watch up for $185 on eBay, which is a steal. If you know anything about this watch, you can go ahead and look it up. You can probably buy them new, a pretty decent price. I'm finding that the ones like this one with the blue dial and what we might call the Pepsi bezel insert, they want a lot of money for this watch. I've seen this watch for well over $500. Some people asking $600, $700. You can find it for the $300 to $400 range. It's all over the place. It's a beautiful watch. It's got real weight to it. It's just awesome. I mean, we've got drilled lugs. I love this relief that they have in the side of the case, and I can go on and on and on talking about it. The knurling on the edge of the bezel here, the knurling on the crown. The loom is phenomenal. As you guys know, all Seikos have great loom. This is a Movement Japan, not necessarily a made in Japan. And, you know, in the eBay listing, it had this band on it. Now you can see there's a little padding in here. This is a pretty stiff band. It was a little small for my wrist. The person who owned this, pretty amazing. This person had a pretty tiny wrist. You can see where the wear is on here, which is amazing because they were wearing it, a large watch on a tiny wrist. But I was all the way down here when I tried to put it on. It just didn't feel right. And I feel weird about wearing somebody else's funk on a leather. I'd rather just make my own, as you guys know. As a matter of fact, I bought it on this band, figuring I'd put it on one of my leather cuffs like this here. Now this is one of 3 watches I purchased that was advertised as kind of like a Seiko Samurai copy, and you can see the similarities. Of course, the crown guards aren't really there. It does have a signed Seiko crown, it does have drilled lugs, but when you look at it right next to the Samurai, you can see that the genuine Seiko is larger. It has crown guards. They're definitely similar. They're neat. And this is an inexpensive watch you can get off AliExpress. It's supposed to have 200-meter water resistance. It's got a sapphire crystal, which, you know, this is only a hard Lex on the Seiko, but you should prefer that if you want a tool watch because it won't shatter as easily. And I put these on here, and I sold one of these, or 2 of these already. No, I sold one, and I have this one here, which is for sale, lined. I have one more that I could do this with. But when I saw this watch for $180, well, whatever it was, I got it, like I said, for $185. It was just over $200 shipped. Again, on this band, it didn't work for me. My thought originally, as I mentioned, I was going to put it on one of these, but then I thought, you know, maybe I should make one of these. I should make a lined, padded leather 2-piece band using this original Seiko hardware. You know, signed clasp on here, little keeper. And I kept meaning to do that. And in the meantime, I was running it on this horsehide Zulu strap that I made myself. You can see all the adjustments on here. It's stretched while I was on that camping trip because I was in and out of the water a lot. If you're wearing a single layer leather strap like this, no stitching, it is going to stretch on. You can see it's been embossed from the back side of the Seiko here. Kind of cool, actually. And I made this last year sometime. I had to punch another hole in it, as I mentioned. Anyhow, it was moving around a lot. This is a heavy watch to be wearing on a single piece of leather. So I decided I was going to put this on a bracelet. So I started looking around at the bracelets, the original Seiko bracelets, and they are just super expensive. And Mark from LongIslandWatch.com has a version of this. This is his band, okay? We're going to talk about that. The price on it was only $59, so $64.61 shipped. That's an incredible deal because the Seiko bands are, you know, twice as much money, if not more. We have solid end links, solid links. They are adjusted with screws. It's a milled clasp, but it is not as clunky of a clasp as the one that we saw on the Momentum watch, right? This is also a milled clasp, but you can see I pointed out how the press clasps were thinner compared to the Momentum here. You can see how massive the Momentum is. However, the nice thing about this Momentum one is look at all these adjustments, micro adjustments. Real quick, you can see the size difference as well. The Momentum is smaller than the Samurai. But, you know, it's just a weird thing with this particular watch, with this particular band on my wrist. 7 5/8 inch wrist. Because I took one link out and adjusted as tight as I could, and it was just a little bit loose. I took one more link out, so a total of 2 links. And I'm on the biggest setting here. There's only 3 micro adjusts. And so now it's a little snug. It's not uncomfortable. Let me put it on for you. It's a warm day today. I think it's already in the 90s here. So I'm sweating a little. So I can move it on the wrist. I can get a finger to squeeze in here, you know, between my radius bone there, and but it's a little bit snugger than I'd like. The thing was with the extra link in it and to the tightest setting on the micro adjust, then it moved up and down my wrist too much. It just wanted to slide down and hit the top of my hand. And I do like my wrist, my watch to register on my wrist above the joint. That's what's most comfortable for me personally, because I'm always doing this, I'm working, and I don't want this digging into the top of my hand. So it works for me. It's just every once in a while I take it off and rub my wrist. It doesn't hurt. It's not cutting off the circulation. There's enough room for me to push it down if I want to and adjust it to different spots on my wrist if I feel like I'm getting a hot spot. It's just one of those things with a larger, heavier watch that can be, from time to time, annoying. I'm rarely annoyed by it, but from time to time it can happen. And I needed a substantial bracelet for this thing because, again, the thin leather, it was moving around too much, and I didn't take the time to make a boon, and I really didn't want to put it on a boon. And I'm very pleased with this. Look at this. Look at the faceting on all these links. You see what I'm talking about here? Let me see if I can get a stick here or something to hang on. So just these little 45-degree cuts between each link. You see the brushing on the top, polished on the sides, which pretty well matches the detail on the watch case itself. We have a polished center in here, but it's brushed on the sides, it's brushed along the top. Matches really well. Again, this is a bracelet that was apparently made specifically for the Seiko Samurai. It's a beautiful band. And I like this at night and low light, but you can see it here. You see how when I twist the wrist, how all those little facets catch the light differently. Sometimes I just look down at my wrist and do this because it's beautiful. It's jewelry. And what he did here for this price of basically $60 is incredible. So it's, as you see, right? It's a mill clasp. Like I said, I've been sweating a little, so I apologize. This folds over. It's got the safety clasp. So you guys know how this works. You lift up on here. Then you have to push these two buttons in. Opens up. You see how that mechanism works right here. There's no diver extension with this particular bracelet. Again, it's not a Seiko bracelet. This is a LongIslandWatch.com bracelet. I think Mark did a great job on this. And that's all this video is about. I just wanted to say I'm very pleased with what Mark came up with here. Again, it's all solid links. Look at the shape there. When you put this in, I actually had to bring this one to the watch shop. This is the first band I wasn't able to get on easily. And you can see this angle. The way that that's shaped, to hold that in place between the lugs and get that pin in there, I could not figure that out. Maybe I'm a little tarded. I don't know. But that was a problem for me. So I brought it over to a watch shop. It took him a couple minutes, and it was not a big deal. Again, you can see the condition of this watch. It's not flawless. You could see right here, you know, at the 11 o'clock on the inner ring of that bezel insert, there's a little mark there. A few little spots like that on the watch, but you're hard pressed to find them. You really have to look for them in a situation like this where I'm magnifying this on screen for you. We don't need to go talking about this particular watch too much. It's not a watch review. It's just about the bracelet. So that's it. If you guys were curious about purchasing a bracelet from Mark at LongIslandWatch.com, I'd say don't hesitate. I'm very pleased with this. Again, my only issues just happens to be my wrist. If you have a 7.5-inch wrist and you do this setup, it's probably going to be perfect for you. I wish that this was just a little bit longer with one more micro adjustment in it. If it was, it would be perfect for me personally. I could probably buy a different clasp. I wonder if Mark will actually see this video. Mark, if you're watching this video, I'm the guy who gives you grief all the time about the Seiko 5 logo. I just prefer the number 5 in the Superman badge over the new. I think that the new Seiko 5 logo is horrendous, and I will never own a Seiko with it. I don't care, even if they gave it to me for free. That's just me. But I'm very pleased with this. It makes me want to wear this all the time now. I think it's a beautiful watch. I suspect most of you would agree. It really is spectacular. You guys can see the lume here just from, you know, being in the... This is just, you know, indirect sunlight here coming in the window, and it really pops. Again, it's really just about this bracelet. It's got some weight to it, but that's what you want on a heavy watch. So that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm very happy with this. You guys have a great day. Be kind to one another. I'll catch you all in the next one.